Boom. Salutations. I hope this finds you in good health. This is kind of one of those spontaneous videos. I sit here somewhat amazed. I never thought this would go this far, so everybody who's asking me to go ahead, the people on Patreon, thank you very much. So anyway, something I wanted to kind of bring up here, which is correlating my experiences with science. I know some people have criticized me for that, but I'm sorry, because the truth is, when real disclosure happens, it's going to happen in the lab. That's where we're going to see it, when it starts affecting our daily lives. And me just telling you I'm a contactee, like so many other thousands and thousands of our population could, doesn't mean much unless we can start using our experiences to actually change our daily lives. Which means that's what you'll see in the lab, and things that will start taking us forward into a type 1 civilization for real. So in this case, what I want to do is kind of correlate something that goes along with my experiences with something I've seen in the media. And I don't see many contactees circles or UFO'ology circles talking about this. And that is the new discovery. It's actually not that new. It's been about 4 years ago, 4 years now, called metallic glass. The metallic glass, also known as memory metal, or also amorphous metal as well. So those are things that it's called, but this is something that's been recently discovered, and it's very interesting in terms that it bends and bends back real quick. You can bend it and smash it, and it actually goes right back to the way it was, as far as it has extreme resistance. So that's interesting. Now, two things about this that catch my experience, my interest. All right, one is going to be the fact that this looks very similar to what the Roswell material was initially said to be like. And I don't normally go into that much because not real attracted to that whole deal. But when in dealing with terms of disclosure, when you have the original, I'll put up some pictures that they say was this weather balloon that was found. Well, that isn't the real debris. Is what I think Corso said. That wasn't the real debris. That's actually just something they put in there, but some sort of deception. But the real metal itself, he described as being something that you could fold it, crush it, and it expand right back to how it was. Extreme durability in that way. That's how that was described by most people that saw this real debris. Now, when looking at this metallic glass, you're seeing the exact same thing. And I find it interesting that very few contactees or people in the contact circles are talking about this. I mean, we can hear all about reptilians and greys and all this stuff, and super soldiers, people that were on Jupiter, super soldiers, or on Mars or whatever. I mean, all those stories permeate the media tons, and I believe that actually contaminates a lot of people's encounters that are getting through the divine field, because their brains are entrenched so much with this stuff, the super soldier stuff. I mean, I myself have talked to about 200 super soldiers now I've messaged with, and it makes you think like, gosh, the military can't do no better than that. I mean, some of them are legit, a few of them a handful, but the others are, I think, people that are getting this information is getting entrenched, and it starts affecting real encounters through the divine field with our brain. But that's other videos I've talked about that. So anyway, back to the mystery metallic glass. A reason that I take specifically interest in this, connected to my personal experiences, is for one thing, I've seen something similar, which is, one would be this is the craft. You've all seen this before. I've talked about it. It's the organic morphing UFO, and what I saw it do, it started off as a metal craft, okay? It's metal, then it starts changing, all right? Boom, boom, into this configuration, into this. And the reason why I want to bring this up again, and this is what I call the tripyramidal Merkaba, as you've seen on other videos, but the reason why I want to bring this up in connection to this is that this started off as metal and then turns into this crystalline type of formation. And not just was it hard to take that, but when dealing with these type of new amorphous metals, you have some that are constructed with more on a crystalline base, and more that are more of, I think it's an iron base, but it's how they're actually making the molecules, how they're constructing or how they're bonding the molecules together is the difference. So that the amorphous metallic glass has as much crystalline in it as as the others do. So that is something different that they're obviously doing here. These species, these beings, this alliance is doing, that is a step forward in metals, amorphous metals, and crystallines, quasi-crystals. It's some sort of a combination. Now the combination they told me again was that we have a four composites that actually make up what these ships are. One is, okay, a type of a quasi-crystal. Another one, I went over that in crystallography. Sorry, I'm getting too excited here. Let me calm down. Okay, so you've got the quasi-crystal compound, then you've got the minerals. This is what they are communicating with me, these metals that are mined from planets that are devoid of Van Allen belts, and a lot of them devoid of atmospheres. There's some sort of a cooperation between the planet and the alliance that they're allowed to mine gold or mine minerals from this. And these type of metals are actually much stronger in terms that the cosmic radiation that hits them is, with no atmosphere, is much different. So I think that's what takes us more into this metallic glass and what was found in the Roswell crash. Maybe slightly different what I saw, but I mean, we're going into that type, and I think when dealing with these type of technologies of amorphous metals, dealing with more of a quasi-crystal compound might be what we're going towards the future than what we're seeing here. So I just thought that's interesting, and this needs to be something that should be mentioned, you know, because you can actually right now, if you get on Amazon and look up memory metal, you can actually buy samples of this stuff and play with it, just like you can ferromatic magnetic fluid. I see people like, who was that, the Floorburn like so much, Rudolph the alien, whatever he's holding up that thing. It's this black goo or something. He's holding up a vial of something you can order on Amazon. It's ferromatic fluid. So it's not some black goo type of thing. And we have to get away from these things that are so much conspiracy and so much fantasy and start seeing what can science back up in terms of our experiences. So, and again, that's another reason I'm interested in this metallic glass. So this is, we've got this here. And another experience I had, which is with this time ship, okay, and the reason why I want to bring this up is because the outside of this appeared to have these windows, metal grates, then windows. And then when I was inside of this thing, I've showed you this before, you've got this, which actually appeared to be metal at first. And then this gentleman waves his hand over it, and whoop, looks like I'm about to fall through here. And that's a type of a glass, and I think that's some type of a holographic recording system, because I believe these are historians dealing with our timelines. Talked about that in other videos. So all these are things, go back and look at the other videos, and all this ties together, opposed to me going in super detail about each thing. This that way it becomes repetitive to a certain degree. Another one would be this here, the biodome. It started off, there was metal over this until he did something and it ascended, and all of a sudden I can see through there. So I think that's some type of transparent glass we're losing right there. Another example would be the eggs, which are on board that organic craft. Okay, and I've showed you the eggs before, but the fact is these were metal on like the backs, but the front seemed to be some type of odd type of glass. I could see through it, but it was a different consistency. So that just takes us into this metallic glass a little bit, I believe, as far as some things that correlate that. Let's see. Actually, I think that's a lot of it. Oh, Liquid Metal Technologies. That's one of the companies that's specializing in this metallic glass. Look that up and research it for yourself. Especially when thinking of things like the Terminator 2. He was some type of a polymorphic metal that was like that. So I'll put a couple of pictures of that up to tie that together. That's most of it for this I really want to go over with you. Again, pay attention to what's being discovered in the lab. I'm not seeing enough contactees talking about this, the technology that's showing up in the market that's affecting our lives. Instead, we're spending so much time on whistleblower type of stuff, which I'm not trying to discredit that, all right? But you've got a whole lot of people like me that had experiences, had some type of a contact that was positive, and it's not being emphasized, and it's not being addressed enough by the scientific community. So I'll forever bring this up and keep addressing this, all right? This here is, I think, a big one. But as far as taking this more to what I just showed you, more to a crystalline type of amorphous metal, something like we're seeing there that could be combined with, I guess I didn't finished with the construction of the craft. I'm sorry. You've got the quasi-crystal compounds. You've got the minerals that are mined from plants that are devoid of Van Allen belts. Then you've got a type of a fungus that is incorporated, along with DNA from the crew. It's those four things that are actually made and then grown over a wormhole in deep in space. So that's actually how the way they told me these craft I've been on board were constructed and how they're grown. So I can only speak for myself, my own personal experiences, but where this ties in, I think is very fascinating. Check this out for yourself, research it for yourself. Please subscribe, please share the video. I found that I'm still going through some type of a shadow ban, I guess. So a bunch of my videos disappeared off my channel. Got them back up there now, but very odd going-ons right now. And I thought this was something good to talk about, that is about the paranormal contactee that could benefit us, that is not about a virus or about an election right now. That's all you're hearing about. It's getting a bit of a burnout, so I thought this would be a good break. Please subscribe, please like and share the video. Peace.